Just starting the recording now. So welcome everyone, and thank you for your patience, as apparently my computer is not allowing me to see Suzanne's wonderful PowerPoint, but I'll trust that you rest of you are. So welcome to today's Business Mastery series, brought to you twice a month by the wonderful people at Direct Pay. My name is Carol Vickers, and together with Liz Christofferson, we are an Empower Consulting Group, and we've had the privilege of hosting these webinars this past couple of years. It has been a true honor to meet the amazing presenters and participate in some incredibly lively discussions and some fabulous learning. As you know, Direct Pay is committed to the success of small business entrepreneurs like yourselves. Through their great customer service team, you can learn about how to increase your business's growth and sales. You can contact them directly at www.directpayinc.com. That's directpayinc.com. And they have information not only about credit card acceptance and online shopping carts, but mobile payments too, which is something that all of us seem to be moving into as we move into this new world of mobile. Direct Pay's Business Mastery series is designed to provide learning and education opportunities for business development for your organization. These opportunities to learn from some of the top minds in business today are incredibly worthwhile. And today's no exception. Today we have Conversations to Cash, the 15-minute formula that took a secretary to 7 figures with the wonderful Suzanne Evans. Let me introduce Suzanne. She is the owner and founder of Suzanne Evans Coaching, LLC, is the tell it like it's so, no fluff boss of business building. In 4 short years, she went from 0 to number 225 on the 2012 INC 500 list for fastest growing companies in the U.S. In 2013, her company ranked number 680 on the Inc. 5000 list. She has ranked in the top 20 of the fastest growing companies in South Carolina. Suzanne supports, coaches, and teaches over 30,000 women enrolled in her wealth and business building programs. Having gone from secretary to surpassing the 7-figure mark herself in just over 3 years, she teaches, coaches, and consults entrepreneurs on how to build their 7-figure business at lightning speed. Suzanne runs a global impact project each year in Zimbabwe, working with women artists and entrepreneurs. Last year, she launched Hell Yeah, We Care, building the Hell Yeah house with Georgetown County Habitat for Humanity. We are absolutely delighted to welcome Suzanne. Please take it away.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here, and I know that you are judiciously manning kind of the chat or everybody that's on, so if people aren't seeing my PowerPoint, if there's a problem, just let me know. Feel free to interrupt me, and we're happy to either just go without a PowerPoint because I can do it that way, or see if we can fix it for folks. So thanks everybody for being here. I'm thrilled to be asked by Direct Pay, and I've spent the last 6 years of my life with Practice Pay. So I am training myself and training myself to make sure that I get their wonderful new name correct. And we are so honored to be partners with Direct Pay. I actually, just to give you a 2-second great piece of advice, a lot of people start with PayPal or with other companies and they end up here, and I started my business with them, and I have just had a seamless and smooth connection with them the entire time I've been in business. You know, we run $6.5 million a year, and they are incredible partners in that process. So I thank them for inviting me and having me be a part of this. So let's get going. You know, this is a presentation I give quite a bit at events, so it says hotel room here, but let's pretend like we're all in a hotel room. And if we all went up to our hotel room and it was dial-up internet service, we would poop. I'll be pleasant today. Our pants in anger. Consumer expectations have grown. So I'm going to talk to you today about that 15-minute miracle that can really change your business, and how you connect with the consumer and how you connect with your clients and customers, and why that world is constantly changing, and what you can do to be a part of growing your business and making more money in the process. Now, all of that said, I'm going to stop a couple of times during this call and ask for questions. I love questions. I will let our great team here handle those. But the more questions you ask of me, the better this webinar is going to be, because I'm going to enable you to get answers to what you really need, what's in front of you, and I'm going to know more about you and what's going on for you in your business right now. So we'll stop a few times and ask questions. So please get them ready. Don't be shy. I always say there's only 2 reasons you shouldn't be asking questions on a call like this. Number 1, you're making so much money you can't even stand it or count it. Or number 2, should you be in business? If you can't come up with a great question, are you ready for the business acumen you're going to need to be successful? So just some stats for you here. The median weekly earnings of women who were full-time wage and salary workers was $657, or 80% of men's $819. And that was a stat in 2009, but it's still pretty similar. 46.3% of the U.S. labor force is made up of women, but only 7.6 are Fortune 500 top earners. In 2008, there was a total of 24.9 million privately held businesses. Of these, only 29% were majority women-owned. So, ladies on the call, and I know our market typically is a lot of women. I know we have men on this call as well. We have to look at what are we doing wrong, not to bring in the income, make the money, and do what it is we need to do to be more successful in business, to make more money, and to be leaders in the industry. And I start by asking you, are you a beau or are you a hoe? A business owner is someone who invests, they take risks, they do whatever it takes to be successful. A hoe is a hobbyist owner. They love to dream and they love to believe and they have these great ideas of being in business, but they don't take massive action and they don't do what it takes to be successful. So think about right now, which are you? What category do you fall in based on what you've been doing, what you've been working on, how you've been showing up in business? It will tell you a lot. So what's the difference between being a beau or a hoe, being a business owner or a hobbyist owner? Simply a decision. And this is what's going to get us to that 15-minute formula for being highly successful. What's the difference? Simply how you make decisions. So profit is nothing more and nothing less than sacrifice. And I know a lot of you probably see this and you might get a little defensive about it because you go, listen, I can build a business all I want to, or I can desire to have a business, but I'm not going to sacrifice my family. I'm not going to sacrifice my health. And most of that is because you've been given a crazy definition of sacrifice. And I'm going to give you a definition of sacrifice today that if you listen to it and you hear it and you take it in, it can change your life. And that is, sacrifice is not having to give something up. Sacrifice is not a negative term. Sacrifice is doing something you've never done to get something you've never had. And that's what you're going to have to look at, doing something you've never done to get something you've never had. So the 5 decisions keeping your business from making money are simple, and it's what we're going to cover today because it's what gets you to that 15-minute formula, which I'm going to talk to you about at the end of this webinar series today, and you're going to understand how it all ties together. So a lot of you think you need to be marketing first, putting marketing above everything, putting marketing in front of everything. A lot of you are hiding behind perfection. We're going to talk about this more, but you know who you are and you know what I'm talking about. You are hiding behind everything being perfect, everything working, all of that, right? You are hiding behind perfection. Number 3, you don't have a model that can make money. So you've got a dream, you've got an idea, you're really excited, you want to be driven, but you don't have a model that can actually generate the money you need to generate. Number 4, you're waiting to attract clients, right? You go, oh, if I'm a certain way and if I'm a certain being, they're just going to come to me, right? And number 5, I need to do it how they did it. In other words, I need to do it how somebody else did it, right? I need to do it how somebody else did it. And the truth of the matter is that you can only do it how you do it, but we're going to go into that later as well. So, WTF, right? Why am I even here talking to you? What do I know about decisions? Well, I've made some shitty ones. I've made some good ones. The faster I make them, the more money I make. And the more money I make, the bigger difference I can make in the world. And I really tend to attract and work with people who are very generous. They want to change the world. They want to leave a legacy. They want to leave things better than when they came. And so I know that the more money I make, the bigger difference I can make. And I bet a lot of you feel that way as well. So let me tell you about myself if you don't know me. 5 years ago, I was working in the Broadway theater industry, and it was, it was a fun and interesting job. I got to put Reba McEntire into Annie Get Your Gun, and Usher into Chicago, and Brooke Shields into Wonderful Town, and it was a good life, but I got that feeling that so many of you get, and you know what I'm talking about, it's the itch. You go, I'm meant to be doing something different. I'm meant to be doing something else. And I knew that was it for me. And so I started to explore all the things that I might want to do, and lots of things came up that weren't so perfect, and I won't go into all of those. But I did discover coaching, and I said, well, maybe I should start with getting a coach. And I did that. And once I had hired a coach, I became very, very clear that that's what I wanted to do. And so we happened to be putting Christina Applegate into Sweet Charity at the time. And, it's interesting because I was like many of you, right, or many of you have been. I wanted to build a business. I had a desire to build a business, and I had worked on kind of thinking about planning to get it started, but I hadn't taken action yet. And so here we are, me saying I'm going to build a coaching business, but not having taken action. We're putting Christina Applegate into Sweet Charity. And if you happen to know the movie or the musical Sweet Charities, there's this wonderful number where all of the women come to the front of the stage and they go, there's got to be something better than this. There's got to be something bigger to do. And when I find that something better to do, I'm going to get up, I'm going to get out, I'm going to get up, get out, and go live it. And I thought, holy shit, they are singing to me. And it was my aha moment. Oprah says first you get the whisper, then you get the nudge, then you get the 2x4. And I thought, I've said I want to start a business. I'm talking about it, but I'm not doing anything. And that next day, I started to build my business. And this is actually a photo from 3 years ago. But we went from nothing, from zero, from me being a secretary in New York City making $45,000 a year, and ended up with an office building, a 4,500 square foot office building. This is from 3 years ago, and at that time, I guess our team was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 people. We now have a full-time staff of 14 to 17 people at any given time based on what we're working on, and have work with wonderful clients. Here's Matthew Goldfarb and Ree Perez and Blue and Barry of Sage Event Management. We have a great fortune of having amazing clients that we work with in our office and virtually. And we have everything from our coaching business to Hell Yes Studios, which is a video and film and animation and marketing company. And we did all of that by taking 100% responsibility for ourselves. I, from the beginning, said whatever goes right, whatever goes wrong, it's all on me, right? Whatever goes right, whatever goes wrong, it's all on me. And so I want you to think about where you are right now in your business, in your life, in your company, in your cash flow. Where are you in your life? And then I want you to take 100% responsibility for it, right? 100% responsibility. Because that is what is going to allow you to change. And if you need to change and that you want to change, taking responsibility is going to do that. So I believe your checking account tells your story. If I ask you right now to really think about what's in your checking account, what's happening in your checking account, what will we see? What is it saying? Right? Take a moment to ask yourself, money is blank. What is money to you? And what does money mean to you? Just take a moment to think about that, because if you're going to be in business, it's about capital. It's about money. So I believe that money is not for getting things, but money is for changing things. And that's what I'm going to teach you on this webinar today, is some fast ways, some surefire ways that you can change your business, you can change your life, you can change your attitude to make more money. Money is a decision. Tell me what you've decided, right? Money is a decision. What have you decided? So here is a client of mine, Pamela Bruner, amazing person. Some of you may know her. And Pamela decided that helping people is more important than being liked. When she came to me, she was making $375 a month, and she was really concerned about what people thought about her. Fast forward 4.5 years later, she's crossed the $1 million mark. She's a phenomenal entrepreneur, phenomenal coach, and when she decided that I would rather be successful, be wealthy, than worry about what people think of me, everything changed. So here's the good news. Things can change for you too. You only need 5 learnable skills to make 6 to 7 figures. 5 learnable skills to make 6 to 7 figures. And they all start with one decision. So here's the 5 powerful money-making decisions and what I call the science of Suzanne, that's going to show you, guide you, and lead you to that 15-minute formula that you are going to understand the power of how you can transform your life and transform your finances. So it only takes 12 ideal clients or customers to build a multiple 6-figure business. So let's figure out how to go get them, and let me show you the 15-minute formula to convert them into paying customers. So we talked about this feeling of, I got to have more, I got to do more, I got to be more, I got to do Facebook and Twitter, and I got to understand how to do all these programs, and I got to start with marketing. So action step number 1 is movement before marketing. And I love this Seth Godin quote. Great leaders create movements by empowering the tribe to communicate. They establish the foundation for people to make connections as opposed to commanding people to follow them. So the bottom line is that you have probably been going, I got to lead with marketing, I got to lead with marketing. And what you have to do and what you want to do is you want to have a movement. You want to understand what it is that you want to change. You put that movement in place, and then you lead to marketing. So I believe that there's a new wave of entrepreneurship, that marketing equals strategy, that movement equals impact. And so when you think about what all of this is, do you want marketing and strategy to constantly lead your business, or do you want impact to lead your business? Do you want to start with movement so that you can have an impact that is long-lasting, right? Because strategy is a one-trick pony, but impact carries you through time and time again. So I'll tell you folks, if I'm choosing between marketing and movement, I'm going to lead with movement, but I'm going to use marketing to fuel that movement, and that's where I want you guys to start. That's where so many of you have been confused. So think about what it looks like to lead with movement. So I'm going to share with you, what are my elements of a movement, right? What does that look like? What does it sound like? So the first is a shared story of common dreams. And you've probably heard that before, whether it's a niche or whether it is, you're talking about target market, a shared story of common dreams. A community inspired by shared problems and solutions. That still kind of falls in the niche piece, in the marketing piece. But here's where everything changes, right? Here's where everything kind of turns on its side. And that is a take action moment to make it different, but always make it better. A take action moment to make it different, but always make it better. And what happens when you have that take action moment to make it different, but always make it better, what it's gonna look like is it's gonna look like that you're leaving a legacy. You have a tribe, right? You're committed to getting people to, without a doubt, absolutely want to follow you. I don't know if you saw that video that kind of went viral probably a year or 2 years ago. And what happened is the one guy was dancing, and everybody kind of looked at him crazy. Everybody looked at him funny. But the guy was dancing. Then all of a sudden, another person joined him dancing, and then another. And before you knew it, 100 people were dancing. Well, what that is that somebody has to start things. And it's a movement, and it is that energy, and it's that enthusiasm. And see, that's why my whole brand is based on hell yeah, because I believe that enthusiasm always wins. So what is your movement? And your movement is then fueled by marketing. So here's decision number one that you have to make. Decide that the only way to change the world is by changing your world. People want to be a part of a movement, and you are that movement. So that's your decision number one. So here's one thing we hear from people all the time. If I get it perfect, that they will buy. I love this little picture of a fortune cookie that says, if you wait too long for the perfect moment will pass you by. And you know that's true. So action step number two is make your mess into your message. And I love the Gandhi quote of, my life is my message. So many of you are worried about your struggles and your tragedies and your difficulties. And the truth of the matter is, it is your test that becomes your testimony. And it is your mess that becomes your message. At the end of the day, all you've got is you. Now think about this, whether you're a chiropractor or you're a jewelry store owner or you're a business coach, there's a ton of other chiropractors. There's a ton of other business coaches, but there's only one you. Only one you. So you can say that you're competing with the life coach next door or the business coach or the chiropractor, but the truth of the matter is that no one can compete with you. That is why your mess into your message is so vitally important. I used to coach this woman named Kelly, and she was a parenting coach, and we were trying to get her message together, and we were trying to figure out exactly what her movement was, and she was struggling. I couldn't get a story out of her. I couldn't get an answer out of her, and I finally said, Kelly, what the hell happened to you as a parent, or what did your parents do to you? And she said, oh, Suzanne, at 21 years old, I was standing in the bathroom with a handful of pills because I thought my kids would be better off with somebody else. And I said, now that you've never told me. I said, that must be hard for you to share. She goes, oh, it's not hard for me at all. I tell people in line at CVS. And I said, so why have I never heard you tell that story? She said, people don't want to hear about my mess. I said, Kelly, that's all they want to hear about. People relate to pain. People relate to your problems. They don't want to hear the end result. Why do you think we want to see a hero's journey? Because they want to know that you were a fucked up mess, that you overcame it, and now look at what you are now. So your message is the most valuable thing you have. What are your tests? What are your challenges? What are your tragedies? And the one thing that I usually say in this talk, I'll say it now, and what I've said in almost every talk I've ever given is this, and it's where I see people get the most uncomfortable. And that is, whatever you fear they will discover is what you most need to teach. So if you're afraid that somebody's going to find something out about you, that is actually what you were meant to teach and share and serve in that way. People, they're going to find out. You're always, always going to be carrying your deepest secrets on your shoulder. People already know. So you trying to hide it just enables you to look more and more inauthentic. Authority inspires, and the only thing you will ever be an authority on is your life story. You will never be the best life coach. You will never be the best chiropractor. You will never be the best jewelry store owner. Someone will always be better, but you can be an expert in your life. So here's the four-letter word that a lot of people do not want to talk about, and that is rate. Right? How much do you charge? And here's a quote by me that I have used over the years that has served me well. Your rate is your announcement to the world of your confidence in your skill set. Your rate is your announcement to the world of your confidence in your skill set. So that which comes easiest for you, you must charge the most for. So in other words, if 1 in 5 people are not complaining about your rate, then you're actually undercharging. And if you undervalue yourself, then you underserve the client or the customer. So what you do is charge what you think they are worth. So you probably heard people do teleclasses on charge what you're worth. And I get that, that's fine, but I would rather say charge what you think they are worth, because what that means is that you believe your clients or customers are extraordinarily valuable, and you charge what you believe they are worth. And we've already talked about this, but your life experience has value, so that's what you want to focus on. You don't need to have the most degrees. You don't need to have the most experience. You don't need to have the most accolades. Your life experience has value. So if your life experience has value, know that you can charge for that. So here's your decision number 2. Decide I would rather be rich than popular. Popular people get invited to parties. Rich people have the power to change the world, and they can throw their own party. So you need to get comfortable with the fact that for you to be successful, you're going to piss some people off. You're going to have some people dislike you. You are going to have some challenges. But would you rather be liked, or would you rather have a legacy? And that's what you have to decide. Okay, I'm going to pause for a minute and take some questions. Can we do that? I think I might need some help to do that. They may have muted themselves. Hello?
That was me. Sorry, I was muted myself. So just we'll put it out.
I figured you were. No problem.
No problem. So just put it out to see if there's any questions. Haven't got anything popped up just yet, but as soon as they do, I will just let you know. So please feel free to just type something in. This has just been, I was so busy writing, I couldn't switch over to unmuting really quickly. Thank you, Suzanne.
No worries. No worries. We'll just give it a second or so and see if anybody has some questions. I'm that boring. I'd like to say I'm that thorough, but.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Let's just see. Oh, there is one, Victoria, and you may have almost answered it. How do you figure out your rate?
Oh, great question, Victoria. Nice to meet you. So rates and pricing is totally subjective. You could come out of the gate and say, I'm going to charge $100,000 an hour, or I'm going to charge $10 an hour. But there's a couple of things that you can do. You can take a look at people in your area, not your area, I'm sorry, people in your field that are doing what you're doing, and that'll give you a sense. But here's the deal, Victoria. If you're just starting out, don't get caught up in the rate. I want you to get a few clients. I don't care if my first 2 clients charged me, I charged them $50 a month. And I didn't care because I needed to get in business. And when I got in business, that allowed me to then say, I'm not just wanting to be a coach, I am a coach. And I was able to move forward and then charge $150 a month and then $350 a month. And of course now I charge $3,000 to $8,000 a month. So there's no right or wrong, but make your primary focus getting clients, even if you're undercharging in the beginning, so you get in the game, and then look at what people are charging in your field. And if you're just starting out, you may want to slightly undercharge in that so you can get a feel and you can get used to closing clients, and then grow as you get more clients.
Excellent. So another question. Sure. John is asking, we are halfway into the webinar. When do we hear about the 15-minute formula?
Well, John, I am a master at marketing, so you will hear it when the time comes. But isn't it great that I have held you because that's what you want? Don't fear, John. You'll get it before the call is over.
Great. And then Deborah just wanted to let you know that you're not boring. And, and just Victoria was also saying, and it's a good comment because I think it's very valid for a number of people, probably need to move away from a fee for service and charge by the month.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Victoria. Absolutely. And quite frankly, yes, you can do that. In the beginning, the truth of the matter is and it's going to sound a little crazy, but get the money you can get. A lot of people go, don't be that person. You go out there and you start big packing. No. In the beginning, the hardest money you will ever make is the first $100,000 that you earn. And I got it scrapping pennies together and doing, organic packages and, doing one package for this person because this is where they are and what they could do, and another package for somebody else. So yes, you do want to put it in package form and not by the hour, but in the beginning, don't be overly choosy, just get in the game.
Great. Thank you.
Are we good?
We're good, and we'll just keep it up, and if we can take another quick break, we'll ask more questions.
I'm going to do 2 more decisions, and then maybe we'll take questions again.
Perfect.
So the next thing that people hear is models are limiting. Models are limiting. So action step number 3, monetizable model with meaning. All existing business models are wrong. Find a new one. And so this means while there's certainly ways to make money, you want to innovate your own way. And I'm going to show you my money mountain here, and I call this a money mountain. And you can see that leads come in from the bottom, and they go up through your lowest price program, which might be a book or a mini seminar for $37. Then they may go up through a signature system, which is a product for $200. Then you move into monthly rates, groups and clubs for like $200 a month and up, individual one-on-one work, $500 and up. And then it can go up to VIP days and VIP clients, $1,000 and up. Now, this was my money mountain probably 5 years ago, but you get the idea that you're taking people through a process and you're getting them to the top of the money mountain, which is where you want them to be. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but this is verticals. If you're a little more advanced, this is what my company does now. We don't just have a money mountain. We have a lot of verticals that each have a money mountain within them. So the 3 must-dos in monetizing. Active, then passive income. Earn while you learn, right? Don't wait to know it all to then go out and teach and coach and get clients. And you want to be in the 10, and I'll just tell you a quick little story about this. When I first was growing my business, I had seen on a website that it said 10% of all coaches make over $100,000 a year. And I said, oh my gosh, what an amazing goal. I'm going to be in the 10. And so I put it on my refrigerator, I put it on my milk carton, I put it on lipstick on my mirror, be in the 10, be in the 10, be in the 10, be in the 10. And when I finally hit 6 figures, I went back and looked at that be in the 10, and I said, I'm going to go back to that website. And I went to the website, and I couldn't find the exact quote, and I thought, where the heck is that? And all of a sudden I found it, and it said 10% of coaches make, only 10% of coaches make over $10,000 a year. I had spent a year of my life reaching, working, stretching, and trying to hit a goal based on a statistic that I had misread. That's the power of the mind, folks. I had said be in the 10, right? And I didn't even have it right. Thank goodness I read it wrong. And that was my goal for the year. But that's the power of intention. And I just want to share that story because for me, it was a huge aha, and I hope for you. So decision number 3, decide to let go of the need to be right. My way got me where I am. What if there was another way? Right people feel good. Rich people know that being uncomfortable is powerful. So let go of the need to be right. Okay, so here's the next one. Selling is sleazy. Attraction is sexy, right? People say, don't sell. You want to attract. And this is for John because we're moving into the 15-minute formula now. Selling is sleazy. Attraction is sexy. Step number 4 is the help more people ask factor. Most people confuse wishing and wanting with pursuing. You must place your trust in action. So when you are building a business, you've got to have leads. You've got to get leads. You want to keep your pipeline full. You want to ask 100 people per week to work with you. And if that scares the hell out of you, it should. And it is accurate that you should be asking 100 people a week to work with you. And you want to be thinking about, do I want to build a list or do I want to build a hive, right? Think about it. A list is just a database with names in it. A hive is a group of people that buzz around you, that talk about you, that come back and say other things, and you want to know that you want to build a hive, right? You want to build a hive. You don't want to build a list. Okay. And I love this at the bottom that appears, small but mighty monetizes. And if we had more time, we could talk more about list building. But just remember, it doesn't matter the size of the list. It matters, did you nurture them? Are they connected to you? Because a few people will spend a lot of money with you, right? And it's really the difference. Okay. Leads are great, but conversions are necessary. And so this is the 15-minute formula we're moving into, because you've got to have a formula to take leads and turn them into paying clients. Connection, the 1 mile rule. So I used to tell my clients, get in your car, drive around for 1 mile. If you live in the country, maybe you have to do 10 miles. And everywhere you go, say, I'm passing the school. I wonder if I could do a talk for the parents at the school. Oh, I'm passing the diner, and this is where the Lions Club meets. I wonder if I could speak for the Lions Club. I'm passing the high school, and I know they have an adult ed program. I wonder if I could teach an adult ed class. Get in your car and see how many places within a 1 mile radius could build your business. I built a $200,000 business all within a mile of my house, folks. The opportunity is everywhere. Have you put on the glasses to find it? Now, a confused mind, and I'm sorry, my PowerPoint's a little weird here on these two, but a confused mind always says no. So are you offering too many things? You're saying, yes, I could do the life coaching package with you, or I could also do the energy healing life coaching package, or I also could do business coaching combined with life coaching, right? Stop. Offer one simple thing. Offer less is more, right? That's what you want to do. And you want to make certain that you are really, really clear about what it is you're offering. The other thing I would say is stop chasing two bunnies, right? And this is actually a Mary Kay quote. She said, stop chasing two bunnies. And that means that some of you are trying to do a bunch of different stuff all at the same time. And it's like the drunk cowboy message. Your clientele gets totally confused. Your clientele is totally lost because they thought you were a life coach, and now you're a life coach and also this and also that and everything in between. And so you want to be really clear about the fact that this is what I do, this is how I do it, and you want to have a super clear message. Okay. Go to the yes. Ask. Do whatever it takes to get the ask. Remember to put relationships first, build trust, and most certain, always close the sale. Remember that someone is always selling someone. So the person with the most certainty always closes the sale. So are you more certain that the person who's talking to you more certain that they don't have money than you are that you could help them? Remember, the person with the most certainty always closes the sale. So here we are at the 15-minute formula. Now, why do I tell you all of that other stuff before I get you to the 15-minute formula? Because this 15-minute formula is meaningless unless you've put the right foundation in place. You won't be able to carry it forth. It won't be able to make sense. You won't have the guts and the stamina and the confidence and the clarity and the message to put all of this together and make it work. This is what I call the I Care closing system. And so what this looks like is it means that you have to have a system in which you can take a potential client or customer, have a caring, non-salesy, supportive conversation with them that helps them see what your value is, and that what you have to offer them can solve their problem or take care of their pain. So I'm going to walk you through this step by step. First, let me just tell you what the whole thing is, and I'll go back and explain it. The order is inspire, clarify, receive, embrace. And we're missing one here in the middle, which is ask. Inspire, clarify, ask, receive, embrace. So this is the order. So you're getting, and it doesn't matter who you are on this call, if you are a life coach, if you're an attorney, if you are a energy worker, if you are a store owner. It's all the same. You have to tweak it a little bit for your industry, but it's all the same. You start with inspiration. Get the client on the phone, and you want to ask them, what is it they want? Why do they want it? You want to support them in painting a picture. In painting a picture and understanding why it is they want what they want. And then you want to ask them what their problems are, right? You want to ask them, so what's keeping you from doing this? Right? What's keeping them from doing this? And you want them to be able to see how, if they got over that obstacle or that hump or that problem, what their life or business or money or family or wallet would look like. And then you want to go into the C. Now, I use it as clarify here, but you could change this word to clarify, coach, consult, or conversation, depending on your industry. If you're a coach, this is where you do your coaching. If you're a consultant, this is where you do your consultant. If you're in another industry, this is where you kind of have a conversation around it or clarify it. And that means if they say, my biggest problem is that I don't know what my target market is. This is where you go, all right, so if you did know what your target market was like, what would be different? And this is where you actually give them coaching. You give them meat, you give them the work that you do. And I don't spend much time on this because you guys are great at what your skill set is. The coaching, the consulting, you've got that. It's usually the sales part you're struggling with. And so this is where you do that. Then you want to move into the ask. And the ask is simply that. It is simply asking them to enroll or invest in your product, program, or service. And I'll give you a couple of one-liners that I use. Now remember, this is called the 15-minute formula because this all happens in 15 minutes, and I have done thousands of these conversations, close them in 15 minutes. So you ask and you say, so, you know, a consult with me is kind of like going to the doctor. We've now established what your problem is, right? We've diagnosed what your problem is. When you go to the doctor, what usually happens next? And they'll say they prescribe, and you go, great. So are you open to me prescribing to you what is next for you to solve this problem? People always say yes, and you go in and tell them about your product, program or service, and you ask them to work with you. Another way to do it, guys, you don't beat around the bush about this. Another way to do it is go, great, tell me a couple of things you've gotten out of this call. Awesome. Now, I wanted to tell you what your next step is. Boom, you go straight into you need a long-term coach. You need somebody who can walk you through this step by step. I have a perfect program for you. Let me tell you about it. Then you receive their answer. Yes, I want to join. Great. Get their credit card, embrace and celebrate. No, absolutely not. It's a hard no. I don't want to work with you, or this isn't what I thought it was, or I'm already doing this with another person. That's a hard no. You receive it and you embrace it, congratulate them, and ask when you can follow up with them, maybe when at a better time. 90% of the answer you will get is a yes, but. Oh, I would totally love to be in your program, or I would like to work with you, or I would like to purchase this, but I don't have the money, but I don't have the time, but my husband won't let me. And when you receive the yes, but, you embrace them because you never make someone wrong. People buy for their reasons, not for your reasons. But you go back through this whole process, but this time focused on their problem. So if their problem is, I would love to do this, but I don't have the money, you go back to inspire. If you did have the money to do this program, what would that look like? Because people don't run out of money, they run out of ideas. And people don't run out of time, they run out of inspiration. And people don't run out of support from their spouses or their family, they run out of the confidence to stand for what they want. And you work them through this whole process again until you get them back to the ask. And sometimes you'll get a hard no or a hard yes by that time, and sometimes you have to do a follow-up call with them. But I take people through this whole process once in 15 minutes. And about, for me, 60% of the time, I get the yes or the no in the first round, and I may have to take them through it again with a yes, but, so it might mean, you know, adding another 10 minutes, so 25 minutes. But I have closed millions of dollars in sales with this eye care closing system, all from keeping it simple and staying to this system. And I knew I was on a mission. When I was in, I started off by having a little booth in Whole Foods selling life coaching. And that's where I learned about people, and I connected with clients and how to speak to clients and what that looked like and what it felt like and what it sounded like. And I was able to have those conversations carry over into an I care conversation and close them into clients. So decision number 4 is decide to stop caring what other people think. When I decide to make a fool of myself, and guys, when I had a booth in the Whole Foods between the organic tomatoes and bananas, I felt like a fool. But I don't need to look good. I need to be certain that my life experience has value. So the last decision is I'll have what they're having, right? I need to do this like other people are doing it. And I want you to get a POV, people, that's a point of view. Great businesses have a point of view, not just a product or service. And the reason this is so key is the stronger your point of view, the easier that 15-minute formula is, because you know who you are, you know what you stand for, you know what your deliverables are, and people trust people who are confident. I mean, just look at this. All 6 of these things have a point of view. They're vastly different. You see the Grateful Dead out label, you know what that is. You see, a parrot head, you know what that stands for. Howard Stern, versus the Dalai Lama, you get what those are, right? Apple versus all of these have a point of view, and you need a point of view. Hell yeah is my point of view. It's enthusiasm. I believe enthusiasm wins. And when I show up to those conversations in the I care system, I bring enthusiasm with them. With me, it's my point of view, and it's easier to have the conversations. So decision number 5 is decide to feel the fear and do it anyway. All great movements were born out of controversy. I'll piss some people off. Good for me. Confrontation activates change. So decide to have a point of view. In those 15-minute conversations, the more you have a point of view, the more people are connected to you, and the more they trust you, and the easier the conversation goes. Success is a decision, and these 5 decisions you can do, you can make them, and they all lead into that beautiful I care system that allows you to really have an amazing conversation where people are led to yes, not because they're manipulated or sold into yes, but they know they need the help, and they lead themselves to the yes. And here's a little thing that I just want to end with, which is my cycle of quitting. And it plays a great role in the I care system because most people don't lose the sale, they quit. They give up on the person that they are selling to. And the cycle of quitting looks like second guessing, oh, should I do this? I don't know, I'm not sure. Then fear, then I'm going to blame somebody else, then projecting, then overwhelm, then blame. And then the actual action of quitting goes, oh, I'm giving up on this client, or I'm stopping my business. And you get a little bit of relief. And then what do you think happens next? As soon as you get a little bit of relief, you go, but should I have quit? So the cycle of quitting is a vicious cycle. And I believe that businesses don't fail. Business owners quit. So don't give up on your clients when you have the potential to convert them into paying clients, your potential clients, and don't quit on your business. Realize that you're in the cycle of quitting, and it can change. So I want to ask you, what are you waiting on, right? What are you waiting on? You have a simple 15-minute formula now. You see the foundation that makes that 15-minute formula work. You see the point of view that makes the 15-minute formula more powerful. Indecision is a disease. In its purest form, indecision is a form of self-abuse. So when you think about what you want your business and your life to look like, right, there's so much potential there, so much to be done, so much to be had, but you have to have a formula and a foundation to make it happen. Here's one of my clients, Matthew Goldfarb. His decision was that rocking the boat means having a movement. And when he came to me, he didn't even have a business. He'd actually been fired from a job, and now he has a $500,000 copywriting business in about 3 years. But you've got to decide if that 15-minute formula isn't going to work for you unless you make those 5 decisions that we've been talking about today. So if decision is the key to a more powerful life, to a better life, to more money, to your business running with ease and grace, then the key to clients and more money is a container, a tool, a formula to have decision-based conversations with potential customers. And that's what you're doing in that eye care system, is having decision-based conversations. That's me. I'm all done.
Wow, Suzanne.
I'm happy to take you're welcome. I'm happy to take a couple of questions if we have them.
Yes, there is a couple. Tara has asked 2 questions. One is, what do you do if you feel guilty charging what you're worth?
You got to get out of business. I'm not, and I'm not kidding. That means that you don't think that what you offer has value, and that you don't think you can help people. And it means that you're doing whatever you do. Let's say you're a life coach. It means you're life coaching for you, not for them. Because I charge people because I know that they can transform their lives and they can become different, better people. And I don't do this for me, and I don't do this to make friends. I do this to help people make money. And when you stop doing it for you, you'll understand the value of charging way what you're worth.
Right. Yes. Good point. And her other question, and I just checked to see if it might have been answered for her, but it was, what kinds of business models are most sustainable for coaches?
Well, the money mountain that I showed you, and I'm just happy to go back to it so in case she couldn't write it down, we'll just leave it on that for a moment or so.
Sure.
It's right. You can see that now, I hope. So the money mountain, that is the best monetizable model for the coaching industry. And it's my model, except my business grew to such an extent that now I have 6 of those money mountains running in different divisions.
Right. Okay. That's perfect. And that was the last question.
Awesome. Well, I am going to do something very special, and we'll see if my team kills me. But I am going to, and I apologize. No, I have it here. Great. I want to make sure I have the right link. So I hold an event called the Be the Change event every year. It's coming up in about 2.5 weeks in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is the largest coaching event in the industry. And of course, our amazing friends at Direct Pay are a big part of that. They're big sponsors. And so I am going to offer the first 7 people on this webinar who would like to attend. It's April the 24th through the 27th. It's in Las Vegas. There's tons of great flights still available because we've got many people booking every day. If you went to my website right now at Be the Change event, it's a $500 ticket. But I am going to invite the first 7 people on this call who would like to have a ticket as mine and Direct Pay's guests. So we have a complimentary ticket link. Now what that means is you need to put down a $197 deposit. But the moment you show up at the event and you register, we hand you a check for that. And that's because each attendee costs us about $700. We print materials. We feed you some meals. We have amazing entertainment. You get all kinds of gifts and goodies from us. So we just need to make sure that you're actually coming. And that's the only reason we ask you to hold your spot. So it is www.bethechangeevent.com/comp-ticket. So I think I can type it there actually. Look, I'm so impressed with myself.
I'm putting it in there right now for you.
Oh, are you? Great. Yep. Okay. www.bethechangeevent.com/comp-ticket. Now, if you just want to go see the dates and a little bit about Be the Change, there's an amazing video there. You can go to bethechangeevent.com and you can see all of the details just to get a feel for the event. But it's a 4-day business building event. Everything you need to grow a 6- or 7-figure business is at that event, takes place at that event. We will have, last year we had about 900 attendees. This year we'll have 800 to 1,000 attendees. We're still filling the event. And it is the single most comprehensive business building event in our industry. It's perfect for the person already making 6 figures or 7 figures, and it's perfect for the person that doesn't have a single client, just has a business idea, and is just getting started. It is an extraordinary experience, and Direct Pay and myself would love to have you there. So for the first 7 of you, you can be our guest.
Wonderful. That is very exciting. What a great opportunity, Suzanne. That is
Thank you. We're happy to have them.
So I've put it into the chat box, and it has it's hyperlinked there. So if you are on the webinar live, you can actually just click on it and go right through to either the comp-ticket or to the event to get more information. That just works.
And I'll give out my support email as well, just in case anybody has a question about the event.
Yes.
It's support, SUPPORT, at SuzanneEvans.org, O-R-G. Just make sure you put O-R-G. Support at SuzanneEvans.org, and one of my team members will be happy to answer any questions you have.
Wonderful. That is just absolutely fabulous. And as per usual, I've written down a ton of notes, gotten great value, and I so appreciate that, Suzanne, and I'm sure that everyone on the audience has also gotten wonderful value as well. Just as we're wrapping up, do you have any final words for us?
Yes, I would just say, remember that everything in life is a decision, and you want to have decision-based conversations that allow you to turn potential clients into paying clients. So put all of this together, and it's going to work for you well. And I hope to hug some of you in person at Be the Change. Guys, we never do this. It's a great opportunity. So if you know you need to change your business, if you need to start a business, if you need to grow your business, just jump on this, figure out the dog sitter later, and be one of those first 7.
Yes. Absolutely. Jump right on it. That would be just fabulous. So thank you so much, Suzanne, and thank you to everyone who is listening and live, and to everyone who has listened to this as a recording. We are delighted to have people like Suzanne with us, and next month we will have two more wonderful presenters. So thank you, Suzanne, and thank you to everyone. Have just a wonderful end of your day.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.